So like I said, one of the coolest things about knife making is that really the sky's the limit. You can make any type of knife you want with any type of handle you want, with any type of cutting edge you want, any size, any width, any thickness that you like, right? So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I like, but really don't be constrained by what I like. Make whatever you want. Obviously there are some standards out there with knives that some things that have been worked on for hundreds and hundreds of years with steel knives that if you try and reinvent the wheel, you may not come up with something that you really like very much. But really know that you can customize your knife however you like. It's totally up to you, and trust me, I've seen some weird knives that people have made. So when you're making a pattern for a knife, a couple of things you can do. One is you can just freehand and draw whatever you want. And the other one is to take an existing knife and use that to start your tracing and work from there. I find that people who are just starting knife making, sometimes it's hard to start with nothing, So sometimes it's better to take an existing knife and then draw that out and then erase and figure out how you would like to change that existing design. Even if your final product doesn't look anything like what you started with, it doesn't matter. It's nice to have somewhere to start. Alright, so when we're drawing out our pattern, there is something really important that you should do first, and that is take whatever steel you're using, okay, and lay it down on the piece of cardboard and trace out the edges of the steel first. And I say this because I've spent time in the past like drawing out really cool knife designs and then realized that they didn't actually fit to the steel that I was using. So however wide the steel is, you really need to know that in advance. So lay your steel down on your cardboard, and I like to use cardboard versus paper because I find that when you have your pattern, it's like substantial, versus if you have a little piece of notebook paper or something, it's just harder to trace around it. So trace through and around my piece of steel, and now I know what I have to work with. Okay, so now I'm just going to pretty much freehand this design. I have a good idea of what I want to make, but again, if you don't want to do that, then start with something else, or you can start messing around with different designs on notebook paper or whatever, and then eventually, once you get an idea of what you want, you can bring it to the cardboard. Today we're going to be talking about basic knife making. I got into knife making probably about 8 or 9 years ago. It's a really cool skill. It's not as hard as you think. And some of the things I love about knife making is that it kind of opens up a world of possibilities for making your own custom knife. And it's pretty cool to be using a tool that you made yourself.